to the Rad Conversations podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Rad Conversations. This week we have author Ildiko Ola with us, and she wrote the book The Power of the Awakened Human. And we have a great discussion about multiverse lives, shifting timelines, dreams as portals, and what it really means to awaken your higher self. All that and more coming up on this episode of Rad Conversations. And remember, if you enjoy the show, please like, subscribe, and share. All right, let's dive into it. So do you feel there are multiple versions of you living right now?
Those are what we call the other lives. Like there are multiple versions of me because we live in a multiverse, all these variations of life. So there is many parts of me, or many me's everywhere. But there is also what we call the past life, because we don't come here just for this one life. So we have a bunch of lives in different timelines on planet Earth, on planet whatever else. We have human body, we have non-human body. For example, think about Bashar. Bashar, you probably watched him.
Yep.
And he said that he's channeling another himself, like this entity, an SSani entity, right? Mm-hmm. So basically, they are both lives of the same, what we call a soul, the same entity. So those are two lives. Just one lives on Earth, the other lives on another planet. But we are connected, and that is why he is capable of channeling that person, because they belong to the same soul. So they are basically the same energy.
And do you feel? And I agree with you. Time is not a thing. Do you feel like everything's happening all at once?
Yes.
So like the dinosaurs are walking the planet
They
right now?
are walking the earth right now. Yeah. And the world wars are happening right now. Everything is happening right now, but it's on a different frequency, different levels of frequency. And that is why, for example, when I had those visions, and I found myself in the past, for example, it's because my past in the other lives and this life happening the same time. There is a connection between the two, like the strands of energy. So we just have to be open to it. See, our consciousness is like a TV antenna. And you can tune it to different frequencies, right? To receive different channels. And when we are awake, we have this channel. And then we sleep, for example, or we are in an altered state of consciousness, like meditating, then we are opening ourselves up to different channels. So I had dreams in which very, very vivid dreams, which I know is a past life dream. So those are me in another life, because it's so vivid, and because we are connected, you see. Like in my dream, I would look into a mirror and I would see myself in the mirror, and that's not this face. It's a completely different face.
Can we hear about some of these dreams you had?
Yeah, it's like these mirror dreams, for example. It shows you exactly that you are living in other realities, in other lives. Because before I went to bed, I said to myself, I set the intent that I'm going to fall asleep and I'm going to find a mirror in my dream, and I'm going to see myself in the dream. And when I wake up, I'm going to remember it. So it happened a couple of times that I would look into the mirror in my dream and I would see a different face, but I know that it's me. So I saw one was these were all women that I saw. One was an older lady at the doctor's office. One was an Asian lady in a club. So different.
Wow.
Different lives, different kind of lives from different countries.
So you had some success. You set your intentions before you went to bed, and like, I want to experience this. And then it did happen every time you set your intentions?
No, not every time. Not every time. But when you do it enough times, it's going to happen. It doesn't matter that it's not every time. But I had it like 3 or 4 times. I see my faces in the mirror, and that's a proof. How much more proof do you need?
Yeah, no.
And I know it's like you see a different face in the mirror, but you know that it's you. It is so amazing. It's unbelievable.
I wish. I'm going to set my intentions tonight, and I have set my intentions, but it hasn't manifested yet. But
and that was a human, for example, or if we are talking about dreams, like we have existences not just as a human being, but for example, the cetaceans, like dolphins, whales, and there's a connection. So I had a dream one time where I was swimming in the ocean, because it looked like the ocean, and I was hopping in and out of the water, and then I came up, and there was this it's like a giant net in front of me, so I couldn't go any further, and there was a city behind, but I was a free dolphin and I was hopping around. In another one, I felt like I would think it's an orca because I had a much bigger body, and there was an entertainment center, and there were like channels filled with water with lights on the side, and I was swimming, and I saw somebody pouring buckets of fish into the water for me to eat.
Oh, and you wrote this to me earlier, and that of all the stuff you wrote to me, and it's all fascinating, but the orca and the entertainment thing intrigued me the most because for 2 years I worked at SeaWorld. So do you feel like you were at SeaWorld when this was happening? I know there's...
I don't know where I was, but it was an indoor place, and I was in a channel. It was in a building. And I didn't see much of it, honestly, because I was underwater, so I wouldn't know. All I knew was that I was in the water and I was being fed because all the fish was being dumped into the water in front of me. And I felt my body. I felt that I was big, but not as big as a whale, obviously. But I seemed smaller than a dolphin. So I just think it was an orca.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. But that's just fascinating.
It's fascinating. And I recognize past life dreams now because we are so sharp. When you dream, sometimes you have funny stuff happening, and some of them are vague, but there are dreams where they are incredibly sharp, very sharp, no funny stuff. And when you wake up that this was a past life dream. So when you are having those experiences.
And we're going to deep dive into your dreams a little more because it's fascinating. But what do you think is happening while we dream?
What happens is that, as I said, our consciousness is like a antenna. And while we sleep, our body remains here in the bed, but our consciousness shifts into other frequencies where our other lives are playing. So
you feel every dream we're having is actually a different reality?
Not every dream. I believe dreams serve different purposes, but one of the purposes is that to shift into you're experiencing being someone else. So you are in your other life. That's what I believe, because it's so sharp and it's so clear, and it's an inner knowing. It's something that I can never prove, but it's an inner knowing. I know that was me, and that was my life. And especially when you go back to the same place twice or several times. I heard people say, hey, I know this place in my dream because I've been there several times. So explain that.
Yeah, I'm with you because we recently, my wife and I moved to the house we're in now, and it's a 1940s Craftsman. And in a dream about a year ago, and I don't dream a whole lot. I don't remember what I have. But,
you dream, you just don't remember.
Yeah, which bums me out. And just on a side note, it's fascinating when you remember your dream and you're like, oh, I got to remember. And then it just slowly slips away. It's amazing. You're designed to forget your dreams.
That's why you have to be smart and do what I did. I had a diary next to my bed. And the moment I woke up in the morning, no dilly-dally and thinking and waking up slowly. No, right away, you grab your diary and you write down what you saw, because the more minutes pass, the more it becomes more vague, and at the end you lose it. And it happened, even recently it happened to me that I found myself back on a street where I was in another dream before, and I knew the name of the street. And even in my dream, I was not awake yet, but I said I had to remember. I was saying the name of the street where I was, so I can look it up. I was kind of like a lucid dreaming, probably, and I woke up and I didn't write it right away and I forgot. And I thought, oh my God, so stupid, because I would have looked it up on the map where this street or city is.
That would have been fascinating. Yeah,
that would have been an ultimate proof, but I lost it, and it happened several times. But sometimes, I would remember a name from a dream, and then I look it up. And most of the time, it doesn't go anywhere. But if you can hold on to something in your dreams, maybe that can help you also. But you have to tell yourself, you have to set the intent at night. Because as I said, there are so many versions of your life out there. So, all these alternate parallel realities. So many versions. And whatever you experience will be based on what your vibration is. So learn how to raise your vibration and how to keep it high.
How many different versions of our reality do you think there are?
I have no idea. I would say countless numbers, because the universe is always in a state of flux, like it's always changing. So I think it's impossible to tell how many versions are out there.
And okay, so like Bashar will say you shift to a different reality, and then you could shift back, and then does that explain Mandela effects to everybody?
Oh yeah. I have my own Mandela effects. I even have a YouTube channel about that. Yeah. Yes, it's because you shift. The past that you think is your past, it isn't. The past is no longer, because you shift constantly, and the past of this reality that I'm in this moment is not the same that the past of the reality that I was 10 minutes ago. So we shift constantly. That's why it happens that people remember different things, because we have shifted out of that reality. And when you have so many people remembering the same thing that's different today, then you know that something is up. So you know that those people have shifted into it. And we shift all the time. So we cannot even say, we shifted from one reality to another. Forget that. We shift to a gazillion realities all the time. In every moment of every day in your life, you keep shifting in different realities.
I used to think I had a terrible memory. And I was like, maybe I don't have a terrible memory. Maybe I'm just shifting so much. And yeah, you can explain it that way. But like you said, there's nothing concrete about the past, because someone...
No, nothing concrete. And the other thing is that this memory thing, as your vibration rises, you slowly start coming out of 3D. So your memory is not going to be worse because you have dementia, or you're getting old or whatever. No, it's because your frequency is higher, and the higher vibrations are very different from the lower vibrations. So that is why you don't remember things.
Are we close to getting to the fourth dimension?
Oh yeah, I believe a lot. I believe I'm already getting there. For example, people like myself. Yes.
And have you heard the thing, like, if 20% of the population of Earth changes to the fourth dimension, then that will raise the entire...
Yes, I don't know about the 20%. I don't know the percents. But I know that you need a tipping point. Once the society reaches a certain point, 40, then it's going to bring the whole thing with it. Okay. So yes, that is a tipping point. Yes.
Well, how is the fourth dimension different than the third dimension?
It's a way of life, a way of existence. It's when people are more aware of their what they call spiritual gifts. When they are more open, when they see things, the visions and everything. So and it's a way of being. When you say that you are at peace with life. At peace with everything. That means you are in the higher frequencies. Because this is how I noticed that I was in the higher frequencies. Before in my life, I was always worried about something, and I was always frustrated about something. And there was a point when I physically noticed that it was like somebody put me in neutral. When you put the car into neutral, then it's just sitting in one place. And I reached that plateau. I felt that. It is such an incredible feeling that I know that I'm on this plateau, and I wasn't sure what it was. All I knew was that things no longer bothered me. So that's when you know that you have shifted into a higher vibration, a higher frequency, a higher way of living. Like when I look around my life, the drama disappeared from my life. I don't have any worries. I look at the world differently. I meet friendly people wherever I go. So you definitely notice that the quality of your life changes big time. Big time. Even the people around you change. They change with you.
Now, do you think you go into fourth and then come back to third, or do you think you go into fourth?
Once you go into fourth, I don't believe you come back into third.
Okay, so you don't slip in and slip out.
I can't be sure. It's a personal opinion.
Right.
But I think it's like once you know something, you cannot unknow it. Right? So once you reach that level, I don't know what you have to do in order to come down again. I don't know. But in my opinion, not really.
Have you lost some friends over this journey the last 20 years?
No.
No?
No, but the thing is, nobody I know is in this same path that I am. At least not here in Hungary, like where I come from. Yes, I have some friends who are also like I triggered some of them. I noticed because they started asking questions after. But no, I didn't lose anybody. Thank goodness they are supportive. And don't forget also, since I'm a higher vibrational person, I create the higher vibrational version of life. So the friends are all supportive. Friends are supportive. Family is supportive. I don't really know anybody who have any problem with me, honestly.
You seem like fantastic. Yeah, I can't get enough of you. So,
it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. Trust me. Once you get there, life will never be the same. And it's all doable. But it requires for people to look into who they are. Look into who they are, what they are, why they are here. I write all about it in my book. It's very important to know because it completely changes the way you look at the world and your role in it. And you lose the victim mentality, your ego diminishes. The higher you get in vibration, the smaller your ego gets. Huge difference. So yeah, it's really worth looking into it and learning your roots, where you are from. And then you realize that geez, we are basically like Superman, just a bit different. But we can do whatever we can do what we set our mind to. So there is no such thing that I'm a victim of something. There is always a reason. If you are a victim of something, there is a reason why you decided to participate in that event. And it all connects to your vibration. Raise your vibration and your life's going to be better. That's my motto.
All right. I'd like to talk about your book for a little bit.
Okay.
Did it just come to you? Like, did it just...
Honestly, it came to me. The thing is, I believe my book was channeled, at least parts of it, because I went for a walk, and I asked universe that I like to write this book because I know that it's in me. It's been sitting in me for many years trying to get out. And I said, I've never written the book. I don't know how to dear universe, please help me write this book. And I asked my guides, please help me and guide me so I can put this book together. And I came home, I sat down and I started writing, and the words were just flowing and flowing and flowing. And sometimes I would finish a chapter and I would read through it, and then I would say, where did this come from?
Wow.
This doesn't sound like me. I mean, these are my words, but I don't speak like this. So I know that my book was channeled because I don't sound like that. And sometimes I ran out of ideas, again, went for a walk, and I said, my guides, can you please help me with ideas to continue my book with? And I would come home and I sit down and I would write another 1,000 words and it would just flow. It's amazing how easily it comes. How can this be this easy? And I'm using words that I don't use every day because I speak very simply. But my words in the book are a bit different. So I recognize that this does not sound like me.
So did you kind of go into a trance when you were writing?
No, it's not a trance. It's just the allowing of the free flow. Like there was this higher dimensional material that wanted to come through me, and it just came. And I was just I didn't think of anything. I just kept myself open, and I was just writing and writing. But I did not feel like I was in any kind of trance. I felt normal.
And before you had this transformational 20 years ago, before 20 years ago, 30 years ago, did you have any desire to write a book?
Even as a child, I wanted to write a book because I was an avid reader. And I believe that was a preparation for me to later in my life to write this book, because I was such a bookworm. I was reading 2-3 books at the same time. Mind you, it was in a different language. I was reading in Hungarian, but I believe that all that reading in both languages prepared me for for the ability to have the ability to write a book, to know how to put it together, and so it was a preparation, I believe. Looking back then I didn't know, but I always, as a child, because I loved to read so much, I said, oh, it would be so cool if I could write a book one day. Nice. So it was within me for the longest time, since I was, I don't know, 12 or something like that, and finally it came true.
And you said you were channeled and it just came all through.
It came through.
There's a story out there about Prince. He contacted some of his bandmates and said, hey, get to the studio. It's like 2 a.m. I got this song in my head. We got to get it out there. And they're like, oh, okay, great. But why can't we just do it at 8 o'clock in the morning? He's like, Prince goes, if I don't get this song out right now, Michael Jackson will put it out. So like, it made me feel like he's lost songs to other artists. Like, just like you had to write the book, it was either going to come through you or through another author. Like the information had to come out. So you were lucky enough to channel your information out. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I believe I'm channeling my higher self, my higher version of me. You see, this 3D body that we have here, this is not all. Like, we are a higher dimensional being. And this 3D body is just a small part of who we really are. It's like you stick your finger into water, and your finger forgets that it's part of the hand and the body, and it just lives a life in the water. And then one day you realize that, hey, I'm not just a finger in the water. I belong to this hand. I'm a whole body. You see? So our higher self, our higher being, is in the multi-dimension. It's a quantum being, and this 3D body is just a very small part of it. And if we are open to the information, we get the higher dimensional information through our energy centers, through the third eye, they call it. So we are channeling our own material, basically.
Thanks for watching the show today, folks. And if you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and share. And like always, stay rad.